Thousands of people took to the streets of London protesting Israel and supporting Hamas. There were 9 arrests. Human rights activist Vahid Beheshti is joining me now from London. Thanks so much for joining us, Vahid. Vahid, there's a video that's been circulating online of poet Mohammed El-Kurd, someone Time magazine put as its Time 100, one of its Time 100. So first, let me play you a clip of this. Is from yesterday. Let me play you a clip.
I dare you to look into the eyes of a Gazan child and tell him that you tried your best. Our day will come, but we must not be complacent. Our day will come, but we must normalize massacres as the status quo.
Normalize massacres as the status quo. There were cheers from the crowd. Vahid, he has since then gone online and basically said, oh, I was misinterpreted. Was he misinterpreted?
Thank you for having me here. But look, they are very clear. They are not ashamed. They are not ashamed to say who they are. Of course, when they come under the pressure of the public opinion and media, they said, okay, it's been misinterpreted or I made a mistake. But we are very clear and we are aware about their mission. They are very clear. They are shouting that in the street of London. And this is yesterday. Mr. Tom Tugendhat, the Ministry of State for Security of British, yesterday published a video which in the street of London, they are supporting Houthis. So who are Houthis? Are terrorist organization exactly same as Hamas, same as Hezbollah, same as Islamic Jihad and all other terrorist groups. But this is, let me go to the root of the problem. This is not the result of 1 day, 2 days, or just from October the 7th. This is the great and intensive work of Iranian regime and IRGC, which we camped nearly 1 year here in order to prescribe it in the UK. They invest on our youth in England, in other European countries, in Canada, in America, in these Islamic centers, in these so-called charities, and the most to brainwash them and make them like this. These are the sleeping agents, we call them sleeping cells, which they've been worked on for past 4 decades by Iranian regime for these days. Iranian regime, which their first slogan, their first principle since they occupied Iran 44 years ago was this: an elimination of the state of Israel. And this is, they've been really active on it. And I have said this in the Knesset last week. I was in Israel. And I have said this to the leaders and the politicians of Israel. I have said, if we are looking for the permanent cure, we have to go to the root of the problems. The Iranian regime, they just haven't said, they just haven't called for an elimination of the state of Israel, and they've gone behind. It wasn't just a slogan. Look what they have done in past 44 years around Israel. They created all these proxies around Israel and surrounding Israel, and not just there. In Europe, London, and other cities, they're working really hard on youth, on the Muslims, especially community, and they inject this to them, and they, as this is your responsibility, this is your religious duty. As Khamenei, the supreme leader of Iranian regime, just 2 months ago, he says Israel, UK, USA, and France are standing against Islam. This short sentence is the order of jihad to the whole Muslim community against Israel and the people of these countries. I think today is the day that we have to stand up strongly in front of first these little proxies and the main of the root of the problem, which is Iranian regime. I think we are on the right path. Israel government and IDF doing great job. They're doing a very good job, to clear these terrorists from the region. But next steps, we are going, which I can see it. We are moving toward the root of the problems, which is Iranian regime. And for that, we have the great military of 80 million Iranians on ground, waiting for this moment, thirsty for freedom and democracy, and they're counting the seconds to overthrow this evil and terrorist regime.
Vahid, I'm going to ask you a question. First of all, you're in London. You're joining us out front, out in the street of London. So let me ask you a couple of questions when it comes to Europe. First of all, the Shin Bet and the Mossad have said that they arrested a number of terror operatives all across Germany, Denmark, Sweden. There was a planned attack on the Israeli embassy in Sweden. It's been reported. From what you just said, it doesn't come as a surprise to you or a shock to you.
At all, because this is what we have tried so hard to communicate, at least for past 18 years, and not especially last year. Now is the day 327 that I camped in front of Foreign Office to communicate this with them about the threat of IRGC, Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Iranian regime, what they are doing in these countries. And for first 72 days of this protest, I was on hunger strike because they weren't listening. But now I'm happy a bit. Now their ears have been opened. They are seeing the reality for what it is after October 7th. But we didn't need to go through this heavy price, to this massacre, for us to understand and realize about this problem that we have. Of course, I'm not surprised because I am aware of the nature of Iranian regime and what they are doing. Look, their mission is very clear. Their mission is this. In order to create our own world, Islamic state, we need to destroy the order of the modern world. And they are doing that very clearly.
But Vahid, let me ask you a question. You talked about how Europe has been trying to help out. The EU, as an umbrella, has 27 countries that they can't deal with, right? Germany is supporting Israel when it comes to the ICJ, right, which is a very important court case. Then you've got Belgium, whose deputy foreign minister is coming out in support of Hamas. Then you've got some of the other countries. What is Europe? What are the European people? First of all, what are the European people believing in terms of this war and where it should, here we are 100 days into it?
And let me tell you something. I don't have hope, first of all, on these international institutes like UN and Red Cross. Let me make it clear first that. But unfortunately, we live in the very complicated time, lots of confusion, lots of misinformation, and PR war. We are in a very great PR war, propaganda war, which Iranian regime, they are very expert on this. And I said that. I think even 1 year or maybe 2 years before the October the 7th, they have been working on this PR war to brainwash and affect the mind of Europeans, especially. Europeans, unfortunately, they don't want to see the reality and the facts for what it is. But we have to show them. We have to make them. Even few of those countries which in this, I don't even call it the court case. I don't know what to call this South African case against Israel, which fighting for humanity. We all know Israel today fighting for humanity is not just they are not just fighting for themselves, but they are just looking at the children and the civilians that are killed. They are not looking who are killing them, who are causing this death. Hamas using civilians, using children as human shield. Okay, for IDF and Israel was 2 days to carpet bomb the Gaza. They didn't go through that. They've gone through all this complication. They lost lots of life and casualty to go step by step, road by road, house by house, and target the terrorists. But Hamas, the Iranian regime, they want to show to the world through their PR war, okay, Israel killing civilians. And this is what they have been doing. Our job, your job is to make this clear. This is not what it is as they are trying so hard to show to the people. I think this is the result of their PR war. We have to work on PR war and the media war which we have we have with them.
Understood. Vahid Beheshti, thanks so much for joining us live from London. Thanks again.
Thank you.